Think you're one of the good white people? Here are 5 things you still say that are actually racist. Number 1, my family didn't own anybody. My family didn't enslave anyone. A lot of white families didn't, but we still benefit from it. Even today, white families hold 8 times the wealth that black families do, and this is no coincidence. Number 2, I voted for Obama. Okay, congratulations. Racism didn't end in 2008. Simply shapeshifted. Also, if you haven't noticed, we literally have a fascist in office right now. Number 3, not to play devil's advocate, but what? There is quite literally no reason to defend racism in any way, shape, or form, so just completely eliminate this from your vocabulary. Number 4, but black on black crime. This is a distraction so that you do not focus on systemic violence. Do you know why the first police patrol was founded? To literally capture black people and drag them back to their kidnappers and their oppressors. So yes, we still see the effects of that today. And number 5, why can't we all just get along? I used to think this phrase was neutral, but I realized it is an attempt to silence black voices and to protect white comfort. We can't all get along because the system is inherently corrupt. As white people, we can either get defensive or we can hold ourselves accountable. Peace and love.
White people, if we want racism to truly go away in America, our voices have to be some of the loudest in condemning it. If you've been paying attention at all, you know and you understand the aggressive attempt that is happening right now to whitewash our world. We've had many people with black or brown skin color removed from prominent positions within the government. We've even had their achievements removed from government websites. There's a blatant attempt to rewrite history when it comes to slavery, with some going as far as to say it wasn't that bad, or we should teach it more gently. And that's just the very tip of the iceberg. White people, do you want to live in a world that is completely void of color? Do any of you guys not hang out with people of different skin color than you? Where are your voices on their behalf? Why are things like this happening over and over again to them, and we are not screaming in enragement? And most importantly, why are we expecting them to do anything whatsoever to combat this? They didn't create this problem. People who look like us did. And people who look like us continue to perpetuate the problem.
What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my space. This is Ivan Srayola. Guys, thank you so much for tuning to watch this episode. I do not take your support for granted. So family, on today's video, you'll see white people call out other white folks against racism. We are now seeing a group of white people come up against racism, and they are calling out their people and telling them that black folks have been through too much and enough is enough. They are calling for love, and they are actually advocating for equality amongst different races in America. So family, I want us to go deep into this video for you to get to understand what is happening. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Family, in a special way, I want to thank my subscribers who are supporting me through buying me a coffee. The link is on the description down below. So fam, let's get straight into the video.
Hi, my name's Kylie, and here are the top 5 phrases that white people use to indicate they are a closeted racist. I was raised around a lot of racist white people, and so these are the phrases that people would use in public, and then in private, they would be incredibly racist. Number 1, I'm not racist, I treat everybody the same. And although they treat everyone the same, they are the people who often spew the most racist and hateful stereotypes in private. Number 2, I just care about the economy. No, you only care about preventing black, brown, queer, or disabled people from accessing healthcare, and then you go home to your white family and your white kids, and you start saying slurs and convincing your kids why they shouldn't marry a person of color. Number 3, I don't like identity politics. Oh, you mean when it's not about you? Because whiteness is already centered in every other aspect, so the one time it's not, you get mad. Number 4, why does everything have to be about race? Because everything is about race. Because quite literally anything that you can think of in America is rooted in race. Tipping culture, the naming of streets, gentrification. And number 5, I just think people should follow the law. You mean the law that is inherently racist and that criminalizes blackness or that has banned indigenous practices and celebrations? Right.
White people, if we want racism to truly go away in America, our voices have to be some of the loudest in condemning it. If you've been paying attention at all, you know and you understand the aggressive attempt that is happening right now to whitewash our world. We've had many people with black or brown skin color removed from prominent positions within the government. We've even had their achievements removed from government websites. There's a blatant attempt to rewrite history when it comes to slavery, with some going as far as to say it wasn't that bad, or we should teach it more gently. And that's just the very tip of the iceberg. White people, do you want to live in a world that is completely void of color? Do any of you guys not hang out with people of different skin color than you? Where are your voices on their behalf? Why are things like this happening over and over again to them, and we are not screaming in enragement? And most importantly, why are we expecting them to do anything whatsoever to combat this? They didn't create this problem. People who look like us did. And people who look like us continue to perpetuate the problem. So then it's people who look like us whose voices have to be the loudest in condemning their behaviors. No, it's not okay to come after our friends who aren't white. No, it's not okay to minimize them. No, it's not okay to hurt or harm them. We are the ones with the privilege, and nothing is going to change unless we use our voices on their behalf. Nobody is better than anybody else because of the color of their skin, but our government is trying to send the opposite message. The only way to stop that is for our voices to be louder, for us to shame people for having such backwards and racist thinking, to call people out when they say the quiet parts out loud. If you're white, I don't know what you're waiting for. The time is now. I've never organized any kind of march or protest before, but it would be my absolute dream, while our black and brown brothers and sisters are at home resting, for all of us white people to be out marching on their behalf, standing in solidarity and support of their communities. I will say this on record, if anybody is in the midst of organizing something like this, please contact me. I will lend my voice however I possibly can to your cause. Right now we have a bunch of white people that are united in their common goals of supremacy. We have to have a bunch of white people that are on the opposite side as a counter resistance to their efforts. If racism is going to stop, we have to be the ones to stop it.
It's not that people don't have the facts about racism. They just don't want to hear them. They have all the data, they have all the facts, they don't want them because the truth threatens their identity and their status. And that's why this work isn't just about facts. It's about fear, naming the fear. And if you're white, that's our job. White fragility is a real thing. We all have it in us. And I think if we want to push change forward, we need to be able to hold this fear it triggers and do something with it. And also, equity work isn't just about holding your own fragility. It's about interrupting collapse in other white people. So other people, black people, don't have to. People of the global majority should not have to hold our fragility. We created the problem, and that means our discomfort isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of the work.
I'm on my journey to deconstruct my white privilege, or my white culture, otherwise known as white supremacy. White people, in my comments, I know you're white, you don't have a profile picture, but you're in my comments, and you're telling on yourselves, and it's really disgusting. And y'all need to heal. My fellow white people, this is for you. We need to heal. I was not able to open my eyes to this until I learned to listen to my body. Once I learned to listen to myself, I could be curious about why I'm being defensive. My first reaction is to go into defensive mode every single time. It doesn't matter what, when White Woman Whisperer said that women are the men, white women are the men of women. Instant went to gaslighting. I instantly started saying, no, this is about men. What are you talking about? This isn't about, what? Are you missing? No, they're not missing anything. It's me missing it. And it's time for me to be curious about why I'm defensive about that. Be curious about what their side of the story or their perspective may be. And learn that, holy fucking shit, I am passive aggressive in the workplace. I'm one of those fucking bitches in the workplace that's passive aggressive. And if we are white, I don't know, yes I do know, Jen the nurse, she spoke about, I love her so much, I don't know where she lives, but she's definitely in an area that is not saturated with white people. She said that if you are not treating black people differently as a nurse, then you are not doing it right, you are wrong. And everyone in the comments like, what do you mean you can't treat everyone's equal? No. We need to treat them better than what we would our fellow white person. We need to treat them better. If we're not treating them, if we're not giving them an extra level of care, if we're not giving extra reassurance to the people that we have put trauma on, there's no equality. There will never be equality. So no, we need to stop. I have totally reevaluated. And I'm not saying anything passive aggressive. I'm not, but it's the tone. It's the white women tone. It's the passive aggressive tone. It's the passive aggressive pauses. It's the, oh, you're going to correct me. Okay, I'm going to make this difficult for you. You know, just, I grew up with white women, and our culture as white women is to be passive aggressive. And I don't know if that's everyone's experience. I'm speaking about my own experience, my lived experience growing up Mormon in a white, highly conservative household. That's how it was. And we need to heal. White people, go to therapy. Genuinely, I went to an IOP therapy for my trauma to help me be able to figure out who I am as a person, because white supremacy has completely stripped me of all individuality, of my entire identity. I didn't have an identity in the white culture because they teach you not to, especially in the Mormon culture. It's like you blend in, you look like everyone, or you're the black sheep. And I am definitely, it makes sense why I've never gotten along with white women. But here I am being one of them. Like, I look back at the videos that I posted, and that was like, what, 3 weeks ago? And I'm like, I'm so dumb. Like, how did I not know that? And there's people in my comments that are like, wow, you're just now, like, I'm just a dumb white bitch, y'all. I'm just a dumb white bitch. But I'm a dumb white bitch who's learning, okay? And come along with me.
As an ally to the Black community, I believe in doing the right thing. Always. As allies, it isn't enough to just be passively accepting. We have to stand up against racism in all its ugly forms. Which is why I, as an anti-racist ally, refuse to say absolutely any word that starts with the letter N.
Family, white people are noticing that there is a lot of downside living in a society full of racism. They also are getting affected. And once they notice this, they are now calling out their race and telling them to stop with the racist agendas, to show love to black people and to coexist very well. Because family, right now, racism is becoming expensive each and every day. Family, the sole reason why Donald Trump was voted in as the President of the United States of America is actually a racist agenda. When we look at the qualifications, Kamala Harris could actually have beaten Donald Trump clean, But now that white people are afraid of choosing a black leader and losing, their status quo, they had to choose Donald Trump because they knew that their interests would be put to place. The white privilege, as always, would be put to place. But family, right now, Americans are seeing the heavy cost of racism, which is, of course, very, very expensive. The cost of living is skyrocketing each and every day. The ideologies that Donald Trump is pushing as the President of the United States of America is making the lives of Americans go very, very expensive right now. Look at the tariffs under the leadership of Donald Trump. It is affecting everyone, not only black folks. That's why we are seeing white folks coming up and saying enough is enough. It's time that we stop fast racism, because the sole reason why there is bad leadership right now in the United States of America, high tariffs, the high cost of living, is all thanks to racism. They're even calling out each other and teaching each other ways to avoid racism. They are calling their people and telling them it's time that they should stop with any racist agenda. They should treat black people well. They should be equals with black folks. Because family, at the end of the day, racism has always been very, very expensive, and it is costing white America today. And family, some white folks are so woke to an extent that they know the wrath that is falling upon white America. You understand, with the injustices black people have gone through since the days of slavery, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, redlining, and any form of prejudice or injustices that black people have been perpetuated to have to pass through, all this stuff are actually bringing a lot of wrath, to white America in terms of punishment from above, because from what black people have gone through as human beings is so, so sad. You know, when I see woke white folks come up and tell their people against racism, against white supremacist ideologies, I am so, so happy because now I'm hopeful, you know, and I know that not only black folks are in this fight, but also white folks are in the fight to help black people against racist ideologies. There's this group that has formed. You could even hear them from the video. They're actually calling themselves anti-racist, teaching their people ways to stop with racism. There's this lady in the video who was telling, who was teaching good white people, you know, the white folks who call themselves good, but they have a lot of racist behaviors that they tend not to notice in the process of calling themselves good, saying they have black friends and all this stuff. You know, she says that this is all a lie. They should actually decide from their heart, you know, start rooting for love, start rooting for kindness instead of treating other people badly. White people think they are getting better deal, but the reality is that racism affects everyone. When we look at the education system in America, it's very expensive right now. The tuition fees are high. These all thanks to racism. These are just but examples that shows us why anti-racism should be a thing that should be pushed right now in America, because everyone is being affected. When we look at the college fees, they put them high because they thought that black folks won't be able to manage to pay for these fees. They wanted to ensure that black people did not get education. You understand? So they had to put the prices high. But in the process, white folks are also not able to achieve these amounts. They're ridiculous amounts. Everyone is becoming affected. When we look at this also from a point of racism is not working in this day and time. Right now we are seeing black joy. Black joy is disturbing a lot of white people, some white people. That's why this group of white folks are telling their people that it's time they accept it. You know, some white folks are always raised when they see black people happy, when they see black people with freedom. That certain group of white people, the racist group, is the target audience for this video. By the white group in this video, they are telling them it's time they leave black people alone. Black people have passed through a lot in America, and enough is enough. They should not, you know, be disturbed with any racist abuses in this day and time. And that is just but examples of how there's a lot of downsides living with a racist society. The mistreatment of black people needs to be addressed by everyone, not just by black individuals, you know, and that is what makes me happy with this group of white folks. It's causing them to experience a lot of disadvantages, including lower economic opportunities and equal treatment in the criminal justice system and reduced access to quality healthcare. You know, these are things that are affecting black people today. Look at the criminal justice system. Crazy. Black folks are being affected heavily. We're seeing black people being murdered, you know, by police officers. Black folks who are not even armed. That is how crazy racism can put marginalized groups to struggle each and every day. Family, in a special way, I want to say thank you so much for the white folks in this video who've called out racism openly. I do not take that for granted, because racism, when you look at it from a point of prejudice, it doesn't affect you. You coming out, talking against it, and showing love to black folks is something that I will always appreciate. Thank you guys so, so much, even for speaking up that much. Family, like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'd be very, very grateful. In a special way, I'd also request that you take your time to comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video. Are you in support of white folks who are trying to call out their race to just ensure that they talk against racism? Family, kindly do consider subscribing to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and guys, in a special way, I'd highly appreciate if you all took your time to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you so much. See you guys in our next video. Goodbye for now.